Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Our season ended in a pretty abrupt and disappointing fashion when our ace really screwed the pooch. But it's important to keep something in mind. The entire team as a whole failed. Because up until the very end of the season, we were in a great position to win the division title. And then we didn't. So that's not a great thing by any stretch of the imagination. It is fair to ask at this point how we've done with the Pirates, as we're beginning, actually we just completed, our 10th season. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. And in a very real sense, we've built a quality team. A very high quality team. But it is equally fair to say that there's still a lot of room for improvement. And I've already noticed that my owner has an absolutely delusional objective in me re-signing Juan Soto. That's not going to happen. It just isn't. And the sooner he accepts that, the happier everyone will be. I do need to acquire a hometown player. I'll try to work on that much at least. But we've got some bigger fish to fry. We need to start deciding who gets which offer so that we can start to see how much money we actually have to work with. Let's begin with Aguilar. Aguilar has now led the league twice in starts. He's shown surprising durability since his injury in 2027. He's maybe not throwing 200 innings a year, but I'm also not sure that 200 innings is a fair standard anymore. And I think giving him an extension makes a lot of sense. And I've got to tell you, this salary seems very, very reasonable to me, given the value that he actually provides to the team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to build in a couple of team options to help us mitigate our risk. And let's see if he will take that. It looks like he will. It buys out the arbitration years, and it also buys out 3 years of free agency. I am really okay with this, actually. And I think I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to think about submit offer. That's going to give us some very important cost certainty. Garrett Edwards. Edwards definitely backslid. His walk rate ballooned, which is, I think, the single reason why he pitched so poorly. But let's not also miss the fact that his BABIP also spiked. Do I think he could still be an effective starter? Yes. And the price to find out is pretty reasonable. So I'm going to go ahead and give him that $1.1 million that he's asking for. Done. Andy Maldonado. Andy Maldonado. If we look at his major league track record, he had 3 seasons of outstanding health, then got hurt, took a while to recover, and then turned in a pretty good season that's in line with his norms. However, I really don't know if I like this giant extension for him. I'll be honest with you, I would almost... That is a lot of money. That is an extremely high amount of money. I don't think I can commit to it. I really can't. And it sucks that I can't right now. But I have to do it. I can't give him this super mega contract. He's only one season off of a pretty major injury, and yes, he bounced back and had a pretty great season. But I don't have a scouting director, do I? Because we're waiting for him to respond, right? Yeah. Man, I don't think I can give Maldonado that much money right now. I need more certainty before I pull that trigger. So I'm only going to give him a 1-year deal. And I know he's not going to like that. But I have to do it that way. Notice that our money for extension is going up. This is because we've bought some cost certainty by just buying some of these contracts out. Cy Nielsen has been for 3 seasons in a row a pretty consistent 3-win starter. He wants a very modest raise. I'm not going to give him $10 million, but I will happily give him $7 million. There we go. Maddox Bronze is fine, I guess. And I know he doesn't want very much money, but we might come back to him in a minute. Jairo Solis had a brilliant season, leading the league in appearances and pitching very effectively indeed. And he wants a minuscule raise. This is the easiest decision I'm going to make all offseason. Done. Just don't even ask about that. Now I start getting into the really difficult decisions. So I'm going to circle back to Bruns later on. And let's talk about Noah Smith. Noah Smith believes he is worth $10 million. He might well win his 3rd consecutive Gold Glove, but I doubt it. His zone rating isn't that great. I like Noah Smith a lot. A lot. And he is just not worth $10 million. The Noah Smith of 2029 I was happy to pay him $5 million. But $10 million? For a player who, let's be honest here, his major league career has only been above league average once with his bat. And I know he's great defensively. But you know who else is great defensively and is way cheaper? Gavin Goodry. I could push Gunnels. I mean, I'm not going to push Gunnels back to second, but Brandon Anderson is a great defender. If all I'm paying for is defense, Noah Smith is a waste of money. And I know that sounds harsh, right? I know that sounds super harsh. But it's the truth. I cannot pay Noah Smith $10 million. I can't. If I want to have the kind of flexibility that I need to have to ensure that the team is successful in the long term, I can't give him that big a raise. Cole Young has been consistently solid, and he's also been injured somewhat frequently. He also poses an interesting question. Gilberto Jimenez is pretty okay. He generally hits for a decent average. He's got a surprising bit of pop for a player with his skill set. And he plays center field with reasonable effectiveness. And the biggest issue for all 3 of these is that I don't have an automatic replacement for them. Nate Serko might get a look as our replacement left fielder. But he's not a center fielder. Not really. I've got defensive players that can cover us a lot better than Noah Smith. But I certainly don't have anyone that combines bat and glove like Cole Young does. And if I'm going to pick between keeping one or two of them, I know which one I'm keeping, and it's going to be Cole Young. So what I'm going to do right now is before I make any other big decisions, I'm going to let time pass so that we can go ahead and sign ourselves a new scouting director. You can have a promotion, Ben Charrington. Or a extension. I don't mind. We have our standard. I'm gonna pretend I want more money, but what I actually want is just a better deal, or what I actually want is a better position. I like how I guess I just now realized how much I nickel and dime players, but I don't nickel and dime coaches. Also, OOTP, please don't make me do this. Don't make me have to remember what position I was supposed to be giving them. That was the issue. You didn't want to be a pitching coach. You probably want to be a manager. I'm gonna hire Soler here instead and see if he'll take that job. And we're gonna go for Richie Bennis for the hitting coach. See what that gets us. Okie dokie. And Mozeliak signed, which is brilliant. He's a really good all-around scouting director, and he's neutral. So we should see some good research from him. Also, don't forget this. Untick. Okay. So, Noah Smith. Has my decision about you changed? I don't think that it has. I can keep Cole Young and Jimenez for what Noah Smith is requiring. So I think I'm going to trade Noah Smith. Because the other option is I nickel and dime him in arbitration, and then I have to pay him the huge amount anyway. And I definitely don't want that. Like, that's not something I want to consider. So, let's talk to Cole Young first. Cole, 1-year deal. I'm not even going to dignify your long-term extension with a response like that. Done. $6 million for a 4-win player is brilliant. $10 million for a 3-win player is not. I'll tell you what, Jimenez, I would give you the first 3 years of this deal and then let you walk. Great. I'm very happy with that deal. Done. Noah Smith wants to get paid. It ain't happening, bucko. I'm not going to nickel and dime Bruns. Can I bring Uribe back? Not for 14 million, I'm not. I think Anderson wants about as much. Yeah, neither of those things are happening. Let's let a bit more time pass and see how much money we have to work with once people start signing contracts. Solis, Maldonado, Edwards. Who are all these guys? Oh, I think I offered you some extra things there. That's fine. You know what? I'll give you 100 grand. I'll throw in another 20K. I don't even care, dude. Okay. So here's the thing I'm really concerned about, though, is that there's one big name who hasn't signed yet, which is Aguilar. And until Aguilar signs, I have no idea how much money I have to spend. So let's just keep waiting until he makes his decision. And we got Aguilar and Nielsen. Great. Alright, so this currently tells me that I have $16 million plus $10 million for extensions. If I re-sign Noah Smith, I will basically have no money. I can't spin this. There's nothing that I can do that will let me argue for keeping Noah Smith. Not at that price point. As much as it pains me, as much as getting rid of a player in his prime, $10 million is too much. And you might also say, but Avi, you're spending, $10 million for Jimenez. Yes, because he's a center fielder that actually hits better than average. Like, for all of his issues, he's always been an above-average hitter. He's got a good mid-pop. He's he's not a smart base runner, but he is a good base runner. I can't keep Smith. I can't. You've priced yourself out of my range, which is really unfortunate because I like him a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, he's a team leader. Yeah. Unless there's some way to free up extra money, I just don't see it. You know what? Let's let Jimenez and Young sign. And then we'll come back and talk to Noah Smith. There's Jimenez and there's Young. Brilliant. I think that also means that all of my coaching spots are filled. No, just kidding. I don't have my pitching coach yet. Mr. Zaragoza. Alright. So all of my arbitration salaries have been signed except for Mina, Bruns, and Smith. I've got so many relievers that could potentially... Or I could sign one. Am I gonna offer him $2 million, but that's money I could send somewhere else. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to go ahead and non-tender you. Mina, I know you don't have a big role on the team and you probably want a bigger role. And I'm not saying you won't get that. But more importantly, your leadership value is incredibly valuable, especially if I lose Noah Smith. So. Okay. Oh, game. He's 28. He has been an indifferent hitter every year except for 2029. He's a very good defender. All of these things can be true, and yet he can still not be worth $10 million. Trading him gives me flexibility to add players in other spots. So I think I let him go. I think I trade him. I'm going to focus on prospects and regulars. And see what kind of offers are made to me. Lots and lots of relievers. And that's really what's dominating. And I can't say that I'm surprised. I like Jeffrey Waters, actually. Like, I know his movement is garbage, but I think our team could really develop him into an amazing starting pitcher. And I bet if I trade if I can get Waters and another player or two, that I'll have a really great experience. Okay, that doesn't even move you. Your prospects kind of suck, my dudes. It really is a bad deal, isn't it? Like, it is an objectively terrible deal to trade Noah Smith and get fringe pitchers as our compensation. Maybe we can do better. I could get Drew Dowd. Ugh. While I'm thinking about this, there is the player that I just drafted in the last draft that was a great hitter, and I haven't made him into a hitter yet. Thank you very much for the commenter who reminded me of that. Give me Pittsburgh Pirates draft history. I think his name is Messer. Here he is. the awful pitcher who's actually a pretty decent hitter. So go ahead and switch over to playing left field. And then I'm going to set you up so that you're not a two-way player anymore. Oh, the minor league managers get to control that. I'm just going to force you to start him in left, and then we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm even saltier about Smith now. If I'm honest with you, I'm even saltier. Because this man knows he's got me by the short hairs. And he's durable, he's a good defender, he's a terrible hitter. All things I can say about Gavin Goodry, except he's way cheaper. If I do not re-sign Noah Smith, then Goodry or Anderson become the starting second baseman. Am I okay with that? I think the answer is a conservative yes. I think either one of them could be great defensive players. Am I okay with losing Noah Smith's leadership? I'm not. I don't like that part. But what I'm really not okay with is taking a player I've got control over and giving him away for nothing. And that is the issue that we find ourselves faced with. Players we're just not getting offers for Noah Smith that are worthwhile, in my opinion. We could up the ante and also ask for veterans. And let's just try this out and see if we can get like a truly exceptional player. I ain't seeing nothing that I'm willing to go after. I mean, I could pick up Kim, who's basically Smith but cheaper, and not as good, and more expensive. Well, not more expensive, but he's not as good. I like Drew Dowd. I like him a lot. I just don't know that I can do this. I don't know that I can trade Noah Smith for such a terrible return. But I also don't know that I have a choice. So let's be real for a minute here. We have $16 million to spend on free agents and $10 million for extensions. Am I being cheap for the sake of being cheap? A very fair question. Really, Ernesto? Just freaking take my deal, you jerk. You unbelievable cad. Just so I can have a nice laugh, let's figure out how much Juan Soto's asking for. No. Okie dokie. If I offer him 7 million and I lose, I'm sucked into that contract. And the offers are just really, really bad right now. They're so bad. I'm getting relievers as offer, and I don't need relievers that badly. Like, trading a player to save money is one thing. Trading a player for essentially nothing is something very different. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to offer you 7 million. It's a respectable raise, but it's not as much as he wants. And I'm actually going to trade Maddox Bruns and see if I can convince somebody to toss in to give me some cash to make up the difference. So I'm going to pick this just because I'm trying to piss them off. And then I'm going to remove Mr. Venturi. There's no downside to this. I will submit the offer. And we'll see what you decide. Okay, we're really, really close. I'm not going to give you someone specifically good. Borden, just take my damn offer. Here, 75 grand. Now stop bothering me, please. Ooh, who from the Pirates? Aguilar? Really? That's my Silver Slugger. Alright, I guess. He did hit 300. So, you know, that's not terrible news. Almost. I'll give you Ratliff. Before I give you Ratliff, let me see if I can't get my 5 million if I throw in Ratliff. If you want him that badly, I'll give him to you. Yeah. Can I get more money? Can I get like 10 million? Oh, right. I can only offer cash available. Fair. Bob Steven is good enough to bite me in the ass if I trade him. So... How do we get Ratliff back on your radar? Okay, I can't give you Ratliff, but I could give you Danny Deutsch. I think that's very fair. Ooh, I could also give you Bethel. Nah, Bethel's better. Done. Now, if we do end up keeping Smith, it doesn't hurt us. So I'm actually pretty okay with where we are now. I kind of wish the arbitration award was a little bit more... I wish it was more interactive. Like I could actually make a case. Instead of just basically being random, but whatever. Hall of Fame time. Please and thank you. Bartolo Colon, I will stop voting for you when you fall off the ballot. Same for you, Tim Hudson. I'll vote for Yadier Molina and Joe Mauer. David Price. Joey Votto. Oh boy, Lorenzo Cain. Let me rush to vote him into the Hall of Fame. Lance Lennon, Starling Marte, your big fat nose. No to Salvador Perez. Steven Strasburg, maybe. I think I'm going to make this vote. And I doubt anyone gets into the Hall of Fame this year. It's kind of a weak class. Whatever, dude. Okay, it's arbitration day. How much money is Noah Smith gonna get? Okay. You know what? He's not worth it. But thanks to that cash, I still have a good bit of money to spend in free agency. So it's whatever. I am happy to move forward with what we've got. Oh, Jawette, are you a lefty? You are not. Okay. Okay. Free agency time. Yeah, I'm not going to give up anything that costs me a draft pick. So what positions do we need to stabilize? We can always use a left fielder. We can always use more pitching. But just giving Tian a full season to work his magic might be enough there. I don't know. maybe a cheap, an inexpensive free agent at, say, I think we really just need outfielders, to be honest with you. Like, Demuzio is a good right fielder. I think I'm going to happily turn him loose in right field and maybe find him a new platoon partner that can help him deal with lefties. Maybe Mina? Maybe not. Will Simpson is good. I'm going to give him another season for sure. Hey, you finished second place in Rookie of the Year. Nice. You did hit 30 homers. Or 29, sorry. I wouldn't say no to a capable starting pitcher that would let me leave Fian or Guofang Tian in AAA for a season. I could also just call up Albring, but I think that's probably what I'm looking for, is a starting pitcher and maybe a good left fielder. Really? Huh. Well, that's fine, I guess. $3.6 million for a flamethrowing reliever is probably a bit too much for us to be paying. So let's start by looking at outfielders. Pass on Jake McCarthy. Gallo's a lefty. So are Sanchez and Lee. Jorge Soler could be interesting. He's a clubhouse leader, and we could have him platoon and right. But he's not a very good hitter. Let's look at starters, maybe. Alex Santos is a good enough pitcher that I would be willing to give him a chance to win a job in spring training. I could also spend a bit more and get ourselves... Walker Buehler. Like $8 million for a 1-year deal is going to get me the best starting pitcher on the market. And it's not going to hurt my long-term financial flexibility either. So if I sign him, that would be pretty great, actually. Let's do it. It's exactly the kind of deal that we should be making. Any interesting batters? I don't think so. I think I'm going to save this money for a possible way to trade for an upgraded player. Mason Wynn. Okay, you know what? If this is worth 18 million, all of a sudden I see why Noah Smith was asking for so much money. Because that's redonkulous, to be quite honest with you. They also need to bring in a hometown player. So I'm going to take a real quick look here. And find out where they're from. Here we go. Let's just say Pittsburgh and see what comes up. There's literally nobody from Pittsburgh. Okay. I guess we won't do that then. You know what we could do though? If I look at... No. I mean, I actually meant to say yes, but whatever. Let's look at local popularity, and this should be a pretty good clue as far as who might be in our area. I mean, you're not a local player, that's for damn sure. I can't afford Riley Green, otherwise I'd think about it. I don't need third base. Mitch Keller wants no money? Oh, he's a righty. F that. Voorheesville, New York. Here, I want to edit this view, and I want to add in their city of birth. Really? Is there just no one from Pennsylvania? What? I mean, I guess Ohio would be like a good secondary option. Are you a lefty? You're a righty. Chicago? Can't afford you. There's just not that many baseball players that are from the Midwest these days. You're from Michigan, and you're a lefty. And you don't even want, like, a proper major league deal, so I'll offer you a deal. Eh. Come on, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania. Eh. Tanner Gordon's from Champaign, Illinois. It's where I got my master's degree from. It's just a bunch of garbage players for the most part. I don't think I'm going to go any farther. I think I'm just going to just move on. You know what? Even if it's insulting, I feel like I have to try to bring Juan Soto back. One year, $19 million. Who says no? Okay. I tried. The reason I made him that offer is because now if he doesn't get the amount of money he thinks he deserves, he's more likely to come back to me and offer me something I can work with. Or he just goes back to the Nationals. You know what? That's fine. I think they're wildly overpaying for him. Now, of course, watch him win, like, the Super MVP. Oh, well. The fans will like who I tell them to like. As long as it's 1 year, I don't care how much money we give him. I will get into a minor bidding war if that's what it takes to bring him on. Yeah, we're probably going to lose Maldonado. We'll see what happens, but I don't feel great about our chances there. I feel even less great about paying Cole Young $21 million, though, so... Dark days might be ahead, is what I'm saying, and you might want to prepare yourselves in advance. No thank you. Alright, step 1. Let's look for players who we could lose and make sure they're on the Rule 5 roster. Nate Serko is definitely worthy of inclusion on the 40-man. Mike Burden, I've had worse decisions than keeping a great leader like him. John Santiso offers elite level power, even if he doesn't have much else to go going for him. That's worth keeping. I certainly don't want to lose it for nothing. Oh, yeah. Lesher, I'll put you on the 40. Oh, no, I need to clear up the 40-man a bit, don't I? That's fine. O'Haron, designated for assignment. Trey Morgan, designated for assignment. Middleton I'll keep just because he's such a damn good center fielder. But yeah, we could definitely do better than some of these jokers. I'll waive Farmer. I think he'll sail through without too much hassle. I'm going to waive Molly, and I'm going to see if somebody else takes him off my hands. And we'll see where that takes us. Like, maybe someone's going to be dumb enough to grab him on the Rule 5 draft. We can only hope, right? I will put Lesher on there, just because I'm trying to meet that desire of my owners. I like Robert Santana, but no one's bumping aside Garrett Gunnels anytime soon. He's kind of expendable. Can I trade him for something better? Like, just a really good pitching prospect, like a Kevin Cooper, for instance. I know you don't throw super hard, but you're a knuckleballer. I gotta say, that's kind of sexy. You're not a starter, bro. I don't know what you're trying to convince yourself of, but you're not a starter. You're a reliever. You've got one hell of an arm, Mr. Jab. Do I get a great reliever like Jayab, or do I get an intriguing starter like a knuckleballer? And how do you say no to the knuckleballer? They're objectively the coolest players in baseball history. This is good. Mr. Cooper, go ahead and join us on the 40-man. Like, you're not going to pitch in the majors, but you'll definitely pitch in AAA. Anyone else who's eligible for the Rule 5 that I might want to trade and get something quality? Yeah, there you go. Hampton's hard to get excited about. I've got so many players like him in the system that if I lose him, I don't really mind. That's fine. I will just go ahead and take a look at the actual draft pool and see who might be around that's of interest to us. Nobody. Cool. All right, then. Complete draft. Bro, I've got lots of money for free agents. I will happily offer you $10 million for one season. Yeah, that's fair. I could just cut him. Because I don't really think he has anything to offer me, so I think I will just release him. Whatever. It's a 1-year expense. I've got the money, goodness knows. Bueller. I'll be damned. Look at Bartolo Colon making it into the Hall of Fame. Good for him, dude. Good for him. Okay, this will never happen in real life. There is no way in hell that Steven Strasburg doesn't make it to a second ballot. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer right now, but I definitely think he makes it to a second. I forgot about Ichiro again. You're going to look awfully stupid, Major League Baseball, if you keep out a 3,000 hit guy. But I'm actually very happy for Bartolo Colon, and I hope it does happen to him in real life, too. Eloy Jimenez for Garrett Edwards. I think not, amigo. Are you freaking kidding me? No! What kind of absolute idiot thinks I'm going to take that giant contract off your shoulders just cuz? Excellent. It's Bueller time. Or so they say. Actually, no one's ever said that ever, but it's fine. Boop. Yeah. I know that we're missing the big thumper in the middle of the lineup, but I think we've got a pretty good amount of power. We could do with a bit more, though. That's for sure. If there were a left fielder still available that could hit for a good amount of power, I'd probably very strongly consider it. Default, please. And then give me, dear sir, outfielders. Yeah, I'm not going to take Joey Gallo. That just ain't happening. Because the only way that I would be able to make the most out of him would be just to leave him on the bench. And I can get bench players for way cheaper than that. Oscar Colas isn't bad, actually. He's a decent power bat with a good arm, but he's also kind of a dick. So maybe not to him. Yeah, see, I can get Soler for $2 million, who's actually been consistently better than Joey Gallo. You know what? Let's do batting ratings and let's sort by power. And that should save me some time. Jesus Sanchez? You're pretty much only a right fielder. But what if I move Demuzio to left? Because you're about the same in both positions. I'm not going to sign you for 3 years, but I will sign you for 1 year. I'd like to go ahead and increase the scouting budget by $5 million. That seems good. Yes, I put all the pieces together of offering you a contract and you accepting it. That's clearly the secret to great baseball. I'm just going to shift you over to left. Anyone else that I'd like to sign or pursue? I don't think so. That at least gives me 3 bona fide power hitters that can hit regularly. And Zion Rose, who might run into the odd fastball or two. And let's not discount Gunnell's ability as a power hitter. I think we've got a lot of interesting players now. And we're not going to be as good as we were last season because we don't have Soto. But we arguably have an even better pitching staff than we've had in a very long time. And this now gives me the flexibility to let Tian ride the bench and pitch in AAA for a season so that he can work on his changeup. And we can see how that turns out. Because he's never pitched in AAA before, and I don't want to rush him. So yeah, let's sim up to spring training. Like, I didn't let him go. I'm not paying a reliever $15 million. That's a non-starter. I don't care if I'm the freaking New York Yankees. I ain't paying a reliever $15 million. I just can't. It is not in my DNA to pay that much money to a reliever. All right. Semi-interesting. Bad. Semi-interesting. No, I am not taking this deal. I'm going to reject you so hard that you're going to cry. That's what I'm going for at this point. All right, spring training time. Who would I like to give a shot to in spring training? Matos and Krish, or Critch maybe. Albring maybe? Hampton? Probably not so much, but maybe. That seems good. I'm not really going to push anyone else right now. We'll just see what happens. Okie dokie. And you're going to do everything here. Bro, you're not benching Nelson for Simpson. I like his bat a lot, and I definitely would add him in 1/10 of 1 second if I had a DH, but I don't. Maybe it'll get added soon, and maybe once it does, I'll care about it, but I'm fine with players like Young. Or, no, Goudry is not the starting shortstop. What the hell is wrong with you, game? Are you genuinely psychotic? That you're going to bench a guy who hit 300 last year for a guy who didn't even hit 250? Here, you know what? Let's make this real freaking easy. Cole Young is the shortstop. And if you think for a split second that I'm going to let you not play him, then you can stop talking. And then Simpson's going to play there. And there. Alright. This is fine. I'm not going to argue about the rest of this right now. Let's just go ahead and get simming. No, because then you're benching Goudry for Gunnels. Stop, game. Just stop. I'm so irritated by this game's obsession with defense as the only arbiter for who should play what position. Like, come on, bro. Knock it off. Pitching, let's do our normal 6-man rotation in the springtime. And I'm more than happy to let Tian pitch on our roster in spring training and then just send her down once the season starts. Okay. Maybe my bench coach is obsessed with the defense or something, but I am not going to start Goudry over any of my hitters. I mean, Maldonado got better. That's good, I suppose, even if I can't afford him. Really, Bueller? Really? You piece of human garbage. You're going to get hurt in spring training. Bro, I hate you. You are forcing my hand, dear sir. And I don't like it. I'll offer Zach Elfin a contract. I'm going to put Bueller on the 60-day DL, and then that'll let me put Elfin on the roster. Oscar Sanchez, you should just retire at this point. I think that would be what's best for you. Because I don't think you're ever going to come back and play professional baseball regularly. I just don't think it's in the cards for you. Or in the Pirates. But bum. Tian, fine, you win. I'm just going to throw even harder if you even threaten to send me back to the minors. Fine. You win. I concede. All right, let's get some people cleared off the roster. A lot of them, ideally. So, okay. How many pitchers do I have? I have 20. Well, let's go ahead and put Carl Brown on the injured list. Why am I keeping you? What is it about you that I find attractive? I genuinely don't know. You're going to the minors, dude. Every time I give you playing time, I regret it. Because you're just not very good. I'm going to waive you. I'll bring to the minors. Critch to the minors. Matos to the minors. Down to 14 pitchers. I'd like to send down 2 more. Cooper to the minors. Rose's power is gone? Are you kidding me? The one thing you're good at is the one thing you get bad at. Whatever, dude. Lesher's the only lefty on the roster. So I can't send him down. I'm going to send down Gaius. And that's going to set the roster to 12 pitchers. Actually, you know what? I'm kidding. I definitely want a 13th pitcher. The question is who? Matos might be a starter. I'll go with Gaius. I do want a 13th pitcher. Alright, position players. Nelson to the minors. Burden to the minors. Mota to the minors. I'm going to just fix this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off starting him as shortstop. Montesino to the minors. Hampton to the minors. Middleton to the minors. No. Santiso and Collette to the minors for certain. Circo, I want you to play in AAA this season, and we'll see how you manage. So I still have too many players. Guzman to the minors. And I honestly think Vaughn to the minors. Let Vaughn get some more reps in AAA and see if that improves his game any. And then we're down to 26. All right. Let's sim up to opening day, and then we'll get the pitching staff and the lineup set. How am I at overall minor league systems, though? I've got to be in the top 10 just because I've got so much depth. Really? 17th? You're basically punishing me for not having the big prospects. Man, whatever. You can all go screw yourselves. Okie dokie. So, 5-man rotation. No question. Our ace. No, I don't want potential. I want pitching ratings. There you go. Our ace, Maldonado. Our number 2, Aguilar. Our number 3, Tian. Our number 4, Nielsen. And our number 5, Edwards. With Zach Elfin as the number 1 emergency starting pitcher if things go wrong. All relievers, please. Willie Acevedo was worth a disgusting amount of value last season. So he's going to be our closer again. Lesher has to be our lefty specialist because I don't have anyone else. Burdette, you're going to be a righty specialist. And then the occasional long relief appearance, where your general inability won't hurt us very much. The number 1 setup guy, I'm pretty sure, is going to be Gonzalez. Who's going to pitch in the 7th or later. And then everyone else is going to be a middle reliever of varying talents and skills. Okay, pitching staff is all set. Lineup time. So, our very best hitter is Cole Young. I just like Young so much as our leadoff hitter. I think he's top quality. So it's going to go Young, then Gunnels. That's a very nice 1-2 punch. Our number 3 hitter is Demuzio, I think. Simpson cleanup. Sanchez hits 5th. Jimenez bats 6th. Rose bats 7th. And Smith bats 8th. Let's go ahead and get the defense set up. So Keefe is going to be our backup catcher. He's also a damn good pinch hitter, so I'm going to go ahead and make him our number 1 pinch hitter. Mina, you're going to be my everyday backup outfielder, except in center, which is going to be Middleton. And Jimenez is a great center fielder, so I don't need to do a defensive replacement for him. Mina, you can also be our primary defensive left fielder. I think that's suitable. In terms of good hitting, Mina's going to be the number 2 pinch hitter and probably our number 1 pinch runner. And Gaius can be the occasional pinch hitter. Moving now into the middle infield, Goudry is the primary backup at 2nd and 3rd. And I think Anderson is... No? Who's the better shortstop? It's still Goudry. Yeah, Goudry's going to be primary backup at all of these positions here. And then Anderson is Goudry's backup. Goudry is also going to be our defensive sub at 3rd. I'm fine with Young. I'm not going to make him leave the game just for that. I am, however, going to start Goudry once a week at shortstop just to give Young an automatic break to try to keep him healthy. Because that's going to be his biggest issue is the nagging injuries he always seems to have. Okay. I think that will work. And then in terms of other pinch runners, Middleton is another outstanding runner. I do think our lineup has one big weakness, which is that I don't have a ton of quality. I don't have a ton of quality bats on the bench. I'd like to be a little bit stronger in that regard, but I'm not upset with what we've got now, and I'm willing to at least give it a try. Now, DiMuzio is a shadow of himself against left-handed pitching. So that's where I think Mina gets his start. I think Mina's going to start against left-handed pitching. Oh, and give me the depth chart too, please. And then we're just going to have to figure out who bats 3rd against righties. Because I really don't want DiMuzio playing against lefties. He's just not as good. And I certainly don't want Ismael Mina batting 3rd against lefties either. We'll have Jimenez bat 3rd. That seems reasonable. That seems like a good choice. And then DiMuzio, you become our big pinch hitter. Yeah, you're a great hitter, dude, but you just can't handle yourself against lefties. There's too big a hole in your swing, so we'll just platoon you for now. And then when it comes to DHing, I will let my bench coach decide. I'll let him feel good about himself. And then you are going to be playing Mina in this scenario. Yeah, I don't mind you benching Goudry or Young for Goudry when there's a DH in town, because Goudry's clearly the better shortstop. But I'm certainly not going to give you that kind of position in other cases here. Okay, I think that is going to end our episode here. We still have a bit of money if we do need to acquire somebody. And then we're going to have some interesting choices in the offseason. First and foremost of which is Mr. Maldonado here. Because Lord knows I can't afford him. Not even a little bit. And Acevedo's going to want a giant price tag. That ain't happening. Probably. Yeah, Williams, Farmer, Morgan, and O'Hara all walking is no biggie. Just out of curiosity. Okay. And then I'm going to give you a pretty hefty bonus too. And see if that convinces you to sign. No, it doesn't. Okay. Is there anyone I can lock down while he's still relatively cheap? Probably not. There could be a lot of turnover in next year's roster. But we're just going to see how this season works out and worry about that next year. But we have a lot of players that I just quite simply, I can't afford everyone, even if I might want to. Bueller, I hope you come back and provide something of value to us, but right now I'm pretty PO'd about you. I spent a lot of money on you, and you're clearly not worth it. But we'll see what happens. At the very least, I can offer Maldonado, not compensation, what's it called? Sorry, give me a minute, friends. I can't remember the name. Why can't I remember the damn name? Qualifying offer. That's what I was looking for. And if he takes it, I will do backflips. And if he doesn't take it, then I'm at least protected. And I can try to get me a good quality draft pick out of it. Yeah, Smith is wanting to get paid. And Nielsen wants to get paid. I don't feel in a particular rush to sign most of these people to longer contracts. You know what? I'm going to offer Goudry a really long contract because, bare minimum, he's going to be on the roster as a defensive replacement. And he's well worth every cent there, and he could be our starting second baseman. That's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. I can talk to you in the offseason. Keep's going to want to get paid. Simpson's going to want to get paid. Okay. Demuzio's going to want to get paid. I can almost tell you right now, there's no way that we keep Maldonado. Unless the owner drops dead and the new owner is like, here, have all the money you want. then yeah. That's not likely to happen. We've still got lots of talent, and we've got a system that's going to produce more, especially if J.J. Matos can make it as a starter, which I think he can. I very much think he can. I don't know who our Hall of Famer is, to be honest with you. Because remember, we want a title and a Hall of Famer in 10 years. I just don't know. I don't think anyone on this team right now is even close to Hall of Fame caliber. Like, 20 wins over 5 seasons is pretty good. And if he has 15 seasons, that'll go up to 60 wins above replacement. I just don't think he's going to play that long because of his injuries. Demuzio, we don't know anything about him yet. And he's got a very big hole in his swing, so Maybe Gunnels? Like, Gunnels has been, since we signed him, acquired him, been just incredibly consistent. He's a great bat who plays really good defense. Maybe Simpson has a nice breakout type of career and just starts destroying baseballs like they're going out of style. If I could keep Maldonado, maybe. But Maldonado's a pretty bad risk, in my opinion, of someone that's going to have the kind of career that's going to be long enough to make the Hall of Fame. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, maybe our owner just goes insane and says, I'm going to put $90 million into the team every year and stop nickeling and diming you so much. Remember, $84 million payroll, 26th in the league. I bet Tampa's 30th. Yeah, Tampa's even cheaper than we are, which is pretty yikes, but yeah. This is an issue. It is an issue. But let's see what happens next season. Let's worry about the seasons to come later on. And for now, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.